the fan rankings come in and they do match us, but something tells me that the fan rankings for this team was mostly done by Rhode Island FC fans, where Hartford Athletic come in at 11th with the USL show and us. However, Hartford tied for 11th with Loudon, whom we'll get to later. A team that was on the up and up and then kind of crashed out a bit. And then Brendan Burke said, if you don't have a good attitude, you're out of here. How many players were out of there, John?
Quite a few, and quite a few big names. I mean, club legend Danny Barrera is gone. Marcus Epps, Tristan Hodge, Thomas Van Kayazil, Yunus Budati, Anderson Asiadu, and then, I mean, most importantly, Hanan Habero, right as preseason is kicking off, arguably the best goalie in the league, out the door. Some of the additions are promising, I will say. Samuel Cariaga, fresh off a really good season in Memphis. Adrian Dispay coming over from Indy. Jonathan Jimenez, who I think got 2 assists against this team in the Open with NYCFC 2. And then Sebastian Anderson, who was quite good for Burke in Colorado Springs, will probably be the starter at right back.
Ryan, this was a team that was close, and kind of like we have into the comments of unfamiliar face equals bad team. There are a lot of unfamiliar faces here, but when you had a team last year that looked like it was going to make it.
All 11 of these players were in the USL last year, is what I will say.
Fair enough.
Or well, 10 because they don't have a goalie, but yeah.
Sure. Ryan, what is there anything that maybe we're missing here that you can really say that you believe in this team? Because right now I'm seeing Galena and Beckford and Yang and saying that's a good front three. But what about the rest of the team?
I mean, we're looking at a Hartford team who from last season did pick up a few really interesting wins to their name. Most notably, they beat Las Vegas and Louisville back to back to have in the second half of the year. So this is at least a Brendan Burke side who can and get a result when they need to. I think one thing that's going to be really beneficial to them, or at least should motivate the side going into this season, is we keep going back to that Jägermeister group, but Hartford's been the longtime New England side of USL Championship, and now having Rhode Island have come into the league and made the final before Hartford has done anything successful in the playoffs. But then you also have Westchester, Portland Hearts of Pine, and also kind of in this region that it's getting crowded. Like Hartford needs to do something this year to kind of really put their stamp back on the region and just say, okay, we're still the USL team that's been in this league for a long time. I think that this is something that they really need to kind of take this season much more seriously than we've kind of seen from Hartford's years past.
John, when I'm looking at this team, the name I have circled right now is the guy up top in the middle, Dieng. Mm-hmm. I think he has the real deal potential to be one of the best goal scorers this league has to offer. But again, I am looking at this midfield. I am looking at this back line, and I like this. I like Farrell. I like Anderson, but I don't love any of those guys. Farrell, I do love Farrell, but like I don't love this back line altogether.
I look at this team in totality. I think about the way they ended 2024 in very good form. Part of that owes to Hanan Habero being excellent in goal, but I think a lot of it was the fact that Brendan Burke kind of found his guys, right? Like Samaria nailed down that left side. Farrell was leading the defense. I think most importantly in the midfield, it was guys like Marlon Hairston and Beverly Makangila who brought the requisite physicality to kind of win those knockdowns and let Hartford control territory. So if you're starting from the baseline of Burke figured out what he needs at the base as the backstop, he's going to have Beckford healthy. Jang, who's somehow only 21 years old, is improving. The offense is there. Everyone at the back is solid, like you're saying. I happen to rate Samadi and Anderson probably higher than you do, but like no one here is going to be an all-leaguer if we're being real. But hey, they're solid USL players. As long as this team gets a goalie in the mix, I think Hartford probably sneaks into the 8 seed for my taste. Like this is a really solid team that needs a little bit of depth, but the potential is sky high.
I'm just going to throw this out there to you, Ryan. When you look at this team and you see the giant place down at the bottom where there's no goalie, how much do you think they regret selling Brooks Thompson down to Lexington right now?
Yeah, that's it's a massive concern for Hartford this year. Kind of moving up. Nicholas Murray says in our chat that goalkeepers are coming. Obviously, with this, we can only rank based off of what we've seen. But yeah, this is a kind of pressing concern for Hartford entering this year. That's not a position you want to leave to chance.
By the way, this is just a Jang like anecdote. This is just some fun that happened last year where I just kind of forgot that he is like 2021. Like he is a massive human being, a huge. Like he is standing well over me, and I'm like 6'1", and I'm like looking up to him, and he gets like some. I think he missed a goal or something at the end of the Legion Hartford game, and he's like really upset. And he's like really, really mad, and he's like yelling, and then whistle blows, and he kind of like maybe he kicks the board, but not too hard. And he sees that I'm there, and he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and shakes my hand. It was like the most soft, kindest thing I've ever seen. I was like,
Aw.
"Oh,
Beauty.
like, all right, man, it's okay." Like it's all right, bud. Anything on Hartford before we kind of go on? No? All right. Well, they are kind of looking at a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever. It all kind of looks the same depending on how you draw the circles. And yes, that one he does speak English, at least a little bit, he said to me. So as of now, as of recording, no goalkeeper. We know that they're coming. And then Samadia and on the left, this Farrell and your center back, Anderson on the right. Hairston and my gosh, Makangila.
Yeah, you got him.
Cool. As the central midfielders, and then Carrega.
Close enough.
Sure. Galena and Beckford left and right, and Jang up top. I always get scared whenever there's just names I'm not certain on.
The key is to just sound confident, and people will go along with it.
Yeah, my accent doesn't help things
Yeah.
in terms of, to be honest.